So getting just a couple of game wins in a series could be huge. That could be enough to send them into the playoffs tomorrow as in 4th place in this group, which is a realistic position for them, given the fact that they're also going to have to play against Furia still to finish off the group stage.
Yeah, they've also already beaten PDV as well. So 1-1 is their current rating. And as we saw earlier, ARaze incredibly going 1-0 against Furia. They will have all the confidence in the world right now. And it's up to Out of Skill to try and wrestle that from them as well as they can. I think a good start is key for Out of Skill.
Yeah, if Out of Skill can even, like I said, get a game, they're going to be so far ahead of last place in this group that they would be almost certain to progress, which is huge. You know, just getting into the playoffs is the key for this team here. ARaze, meanwhile, you know, they're just trying to keep up the run that they're on. They're hitting incredible form and, you know, having solid results everywhere they go. Look at Sadness just picking out the angle of the near post as PJ gets one of the most bizarre assists we're going to see all day.
I think there was a slight wave dash as well after he got the flip reset, knocking the ball into the corner. Great play there from Sadness, but I think the snapshot just took the player that was at the near post by surprise. He expected something coming into the center, and when he shot, he was unable to readjust.
Yeah, it's great placement, and you know, just sneaking that shot in by an angle that wouldn't have been expected. And now Davitrox tries to do the same thing. That one was very close to being blocked. Yeah, they're going to have to fight fire with fire now. You know, all thoughts of just holding off and trying to get a 1-0 lead. Well, those are gone because you're down 1-0. So, yeah, it's time to get the offense rolling. And against a team like ARaze, you're probably going to have a better time if you're in attack. Defending against these guys is a nightmare. They are just all terrifying in solo plays, team plays, and mechanical ability.
We're already seeing a lot from Sadness so far, going up and down that left wing. And I think as the game is progressing, more and more of it is being spent in the out of skill half, which is a bad sign for them. But when they come forward, they do show some signs of danger, as Luke has to make another save there at the near post. And they might be able to get this one going, and depending on how Lost reads that one. As I say that, he gets demoed. It could be 2-0. Sadness can't quite squeeze it in, and Lost, after respawning, just pumps it long.
Yeah, good composure there from Luke. He's staying goal side of the ball at all moments here as he guides it into the corner. And there is really no moment in that attacking play or the counter-attacking play for Out of Skill where ARaze were in trouble. Luke might get a bit of trouble here, though. Actually gets rescued by Sadness. This is great pressure on the ball as the recoveries are coming in. But at the same time, Out of Skill are getting to see a bit of the blue half here, so this is promising for them.
They are, and they're keeping some possession as well as Lost goes for a flip reset. Davitrox comes in but can't quite get it on target. More signs of danger here for ARaze. You need to wake up a little bit because their opponents are growing in confidence. They're keeping this attack going yet again. Davitrox is going to win this one. Davintano, just as he was looking to help Davitrox out, was bumped out the way. The recovery there was great.
Yeah, PJ is asserting his authority in the midfield. Yeah. The physical plays, they're very sneaky actually. He's getting behind the enemy lines and coming from angles that they might not be expecting. Trust the Prince to steal the spotlight without even having to touch the ball. And he did get the only assist of this game so far as well, which of course did come right after a lockup. So it's all been about bumps for PJ.
Yeah, it's definitely working out for them so far when they're defending, keeping Out of Skill at bay for now. And here comes Luke. Look at this, attacking as a trio. There are bumps, there are attacks, but somehow Davitrox manages to get a save. I thought for a second he might have been 50-15 that into his own goal, but amazingly it's still 1-0.
Yeah, great defense from Out of Skill, keeping it a 1-goal game. That was a tough position. PJ's still on a rampage. Nobody's been to stop him. He isn't going for the ball half as often as he's going for opponents' cars. You'll love to see this, but they are leaving openings. You know, when you've got a player like this, oh my goodness, going on the hunt like PJ currently is. He's still on the hunt this entire time. That was an open up for Sadness. But there are openings to exploit. Here's a counter-attack. That could just be a goal. Lost has got this if he boosts correctly. And he does. The gaps are there. The gaps are in the defense. There's gaps in the rotation because PJ has only got one thing on his mind.
Yeah, but BJ loves it. He's good at it as well. That was the first time it's actually backfired there. Lost had one of those moments in the air where you know none of your opponents, none of your teammates can make any impact on that play. All they can do is watch. And if you're on the blue side, hope that he misses. But it wasn't to be. And Out of Skill do have their equalize with a minute left. Now, what can we see of ARaze? Because they need to step up again. And PJ, he just needs to work on his balance a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah, just when you thought Virtuoso had set the bar, set the standard for most demo attempts in a game and just the most Tracy playstyle, PJ's taking it to a whole other level here. I mean, look at this. There's just no respect being shown to out-of-skill from PJ. He is just full of confidence at the moment, despite just being scored on.
Well, he's winning at the moment. He's the only one of these players that's been to a major LAN as well in Season 7.
True.
A couple of games against NRG. So he is the player that has the experience to deal with whatever out of skill throw at him. And here he comes again from the side, trying to close down Lost. Forward flipping in the air, I think that was to stay there. Oh, brilliant. Oh, hang about. Oh, no, he's going to score. Oh, they haven't scored. Davitrox had the chance of his dreams, and now ARaze come forward again. This is true end-to-end stuff. I think we're going to an overtime. It's a bit chaotic at the end. Everybody breathe. Next goal wins.
Oh, go on. I was really hoping PJ would be on the kickoff there and that he would just drive straight past it and go for another demo, but here he is on the ball, defended well by Davitrox. That's a decent chance on the counter, actually. Lost was trying to get the ball to Davitrox down the line, but it did take a deflection along the way, so it's right back to the orange. Danger whenever ARaze get into these kind of positions. Great fake by Luke, and PJ's first to the scene. He scores the winning goal after playing for demos all game long. He only has to hit the ball one time, and he's made his mark.
I think that's exactly what ARaze needed, to be fair. The overtime, just a chance to reset. They've got themselves into a situation where they were just trying to go faster and faster, whether it was working or not. And just the ability to restart things, take a deep breath. Because then they didn't need to work too hard to outpace out of skill there. Luke, I think it was, who managed to get it past two of the on-rushing out of skill defenders. And then PJ, in the end, had the easiest finish in the world.
Yeah, it was all conditioning, really. I mean, ARaze didn't slow down for 1 second this entire regulation time. And of course, then Luke can hit them with the mind game. They're expecting him to keep up that pace and just drive straight into the ball full speed. But he just hits the brakes, and it's hard to see that coming when your opponents have been barreling forward and really charging every single play for the entire game up until that moment. You have to give credit, though, to out of skill. You know, despite the crazy hard to read offense that was coming at them, they did only concede one time in the first 5 minutes. So I'll be impressed if they can keep that up, but it just looks like ARaze at any minute here could just let the floodgates open and send in a 7-goal game. I mean, they could really just probably a couple in their own net while they're at it. You know, just both ways. It's entertaining stuff.
And a few demos as well for good measure, but we have to remember, out of skill had that chance with about 5 seconds left. That would have won game one, and they couldn't quite take it for one reason or another. So take those opportunities. That's what was said on desk. Out of skill need to take their chances, and we've seen why it's so important for them, because the way ARaze are playing, the speed that they go for, it will lead to mistakes, and it will lead to chances for out of skill if they can take them.
Yeah, Luke has been making it hard for them. Oh, Lost gets one through, though. That was defended, or at least it was an attempted overhead aerial in defense here. Oh, Sadness has come out of the top of his own net for that play. That's interesting. He was actually boost starved, so if he had boosts in that position, he would not have gone for the in-and-out save. He would have sat on the ground and probably had a 50-50 aerial attempt, but ended up being completely on zero, or at least using all his boosts to get into the net and build up some momentum. Not the best boost management there, or maybe just a bit of misfortune coming through with the pathing.
And now we can see for the first time in this series, out of skill trying to hold on to a lead. Let's see if they play any differently, try and slow things down at all. And Zana has done that. I think he's out of boost as well, and Luke's just bullying him out of the way to let PJ. And he's got a pass into the middle, which is Sadness. Lost got such an important touch there. Without that one, it was certainly going to be an equalizer. But ARaze keep on coming. Let's see how out of skill can deal with this attack. That's how Lost bumping his opponent away. They're trying to take a leaf from the ARaze defensive book.
ARaze just trying to... I mean, it makes sense that they would try and delete their opponents before scoring. That fits their name quite perfectly. But out of skill, proving to be as far away from their name would suggest as possible. They're really putting together some good plays here. Loving the possession, even close to the net. They're not snatching at chances. They don't want to shoot from that range because the goalkeepers are expecting that. So they're playing it around them quite nicely. And here comes PJ. He's got one mind game and another center ball being attempted, but that's the second time now that his centers have been dunked on pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly. Sending ARaze all the way back to their own half. And Davinsana now is tackling his opponent as well. I think the one player that's really stood out for me on the orange side is Lost. He has been absolutely key in breaking up a lot of these attacks. He's also the only goal scorer 4 out of skill, scoring a couple so far in this series. So definitely a player to keep an eye on. Seems to have the read somewhat, as you see there, of ARaze going up to the ceiling and just stopping them in their tracks again, and potentially setting up a counter-attack for his team.
Beautiful recovery from Lost. Davisano actually had a chance there, but he's gone for the boost and didn't realize the ball was going to be arriving at the back post. Now Sadness quickly looking for the counter, but it's blocked by Davitrox. Great save. You want to go back to that, ceiling challenge by Lost previously. The fact that he's able to challenge at ceiling height and then get right back into the play by landing on the ceiling, double jumping back down. That's showing that he's not just thinking about that play on the ball. He's got future plans as well. That's very necessary in a matchup like this. That's the chance. Davisano is first on the scene, luckily 4 out of skill. That was dangerous.
They're coming again now. Sadness nips in ahead of 2 of them. That's where ARaze are at their most dangerous, when they're beating their opponents to their ball in their own half. And Out of Skill have to deal with this for as long as they possibly can. However, that pass is somewhat wayward. Davitrox is up. He's got Lost behind him. Is Lost going to take control? He was. But from the side, angelically for ARaze, there was PJ. He comes forward again now onto the backboard. Now ARaze can start to build up a head of steam. Lucas has stolen an important boost from the center, and PJ the other one as well. So they've got stuff in the tank to play with. Do they have the transitional pass? Not quite on this occasion. So Lost can send it forward again. Absolutely no boost, and still chasing, still going for the ball and putting pressure on Luke. And then Davitrox completes the job with another bump. Davinsano over the top. It's really good defending here from Out of Skill. Whenever ARaze are about to pull the trigger, they just get in the way. But as I say that, it's cursed, and Luke gets it past them. Oh no! Double commit as well.
What have you done? What have you done? What was that you said? Really good defense.
I did,
always
yeah.
Be careful. You should always hesitate before complimenting defense in South American Rock League games, because anything can happen at any moment. These guys have got such blistering pace in offense and such high solo ability that it's almost impossible to read what's happening in front of you. You have to pre-jump, and that can lead to problems, as we've just seen. So there's the equalizer late in the game for ARaze. Now they're pressing for the winner. PJ's got his dodge here. Not a lot of boost, but he still plays it to the middle. Sadness, bit side onto the ball.
They're attacking the backboard now. ARaze really seeing that as a potential weakness in this Out of Skill defense, putting everything high and tempting their teammates to come forward and slam it downwards. So far, it's given them 1 goal. Can they get them another? There's a snapshot this time. PJ tries to beat Davitrox, but Davitrox's reflexes were good, and Luke can only send this one backwards as well. Lost trying to go round again. What performance he's had. He gets another attempt at an assist, which was intercepted by Sadness, but it's Out of Skill that are entering the last 40 seconds or so, just about on the ascendancy.
And they've still got the pin here. Davitrox has to send it back towards his own net. There's Lost.
He needed
They've
him
done
there.
this a few times. They've been there to sweep up the dangerous centers, and now on the counter, pre-jump save from Sadness. Let's look at the proactivity for both teams defensively. They're not standing off on the goal line and letting shots come at them. They're getting out in the way of them. But communication is key here. If you're pre-jumping, if you're rushing things, you gotta let your teammates know.
Oh, backboard again, and PJ goes for a Devo goal. It's one of those for a while, that backboard jumping inwards. But it doesn't work on this occasion. Now Luke to the ceiling. We could have another overtime in a row, unless Davinsano can do something amazing here, that his pass is a little bit central. And once again, Johnny, it's next goal wins territory.
Yeah, this is a surprise. ARaze were supposed to be the better team by a fair margin here, but full credit to Out of Skill. They have shown that they deserve the respect in this matchup, and I don't think ARaze were giving them a lot last game. They're going for some wild plays. I think now they've dialed it back a little after realizing, hold on a second, these guys are playing pretty well today. They did lose a series to Noble already in the group, but they're stepping up when it matters most and really fighting for their seeding.
Let's see if they can go one better and score this next goal and give themselves a game in a series, which, as you mentioned, Johnny, is all important in the context of getting through this group, of not finishing in 5th. You can do so by starting something here. Davinsano out wide. PJ touches a little bit central, asks a question of Sadness, but Sadness does well. Now Davitrox sends it forward. This is the chance of a real venture into the blue half for Out of Skill. Here comes Lost from the ceiling. He's got these reads, but PJ's got it as well. Davinsano keeps it going. He's trying to slow things down, just asking the question, who's with me, who's helping me? There was the help, and there is Lost. My man of the match finishes it well, and it's 2-1 and over for Out of Skill.
Yeah, Luke thought he could get there. I mean, he felt like he had to go as well. Didn't have a lot of boost, and he's in a 1v2. But failing to get the touch, just left the net wide open, lost. Not going to miss from that range. And, okay, we do have a series here. Not just a challenger, but a competitor in this match. Out of skill. Really proving that they are going to be a factor in this group. You know, they're not just settling for 4th place. That is huge. You know, getting a game win puts them so far away from last place in the group now, so they can just really be happy with what they've done so far and build on this as the day goes on.
Absolutely, and they can improve on their seeding as well to try and make sure that their matchup tomorrow is as simple as it possibly can be. Of course, at this level, nothing is easy, but, you know, there's those fine lines. You want to play the team that is, at least on paper, slightly worse, and out of skill have a real chance. Exactly, yeah, you want to avoid those guys at all costs. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed about Out of Skill because they're not just holding on and stealing goals, which at the start was what we theorized they should do. They are actively making ARaze, as you commented on yourself, Johnny, change their playstyle. PJ was like a different player from game 1 to game 2, and I think that's because he's been so impressed with the way that Out of Skill are playing. Yeah,
I think Out of Skill, just like the analyst desk were saying, they've been making contact a lot more than ARaze were used to. Previously, in most of the events that we've seen this team play, they've been trying to keep up with the faster teams like ARaze and struggling to do so. You know, they do end up whiffing a little bit because when you push yourself to the limit, you really start to play a lot faster than you're comfortable with. Miss hits and indeed whiffs are more likely, but today they're able to keep up without missing. And I think they had one weird play in the last game where a pre-jump was off target, allowing ARaze to come through and equalize.
You know the problem there, though,
apart from that, they were fine.
That's because I just said they had great defense. So
yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah.
I can take the L.
It's a tough style to play. I mean, the South American teams, they don't like to sit and wait. They like to go, and you're making yourself, you're putting yourself in risky situations when you do that. So stylistically, it is something that will always look ridiculous when it goes wrong, but you look like a genius when it goes right. These pre-jumps do look beautiful.
They are so impressive. Just a ballet across the pitch from all 6 of these players, but Davitrox wins that particular race. Sadness tries to take a touch, but Davinzano, that's exactly what he wanted, I think, so he could charge inwards and keep the pressure yet again on ARaze. Davinzano keeps it going. Davitrox can turn on this one. Sadness' pass towards Luke is a little bit heavier than I think Luke wanted, and this is so difficult because they're boost-starved right now, ARaze. They can't get rid of this ball, and just look at the pressure from Out of Skill. They're absolutely swamping the blue team right now.
Yeah, it's great work from Luke. He had to muscle his way past a bump and then still get a strong 50-50 in the corner. Otherwise, his team were going to be in a bit of trouble. But Luke's defense has been standout for me. He's, positionally been brilliant and always buying his team as much time as possible to come back and help him out when they do leave him at the back. And, with PJ's playing game 1, we saw a lot of that. We saw a lot of Luke alone in defense. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because clearly he's quite comfortable there.
Yeah, they haven't been conceding too many goals, ARaze. Only 3 overall so far in this series, so over-conceding is not really the issue that they have. Right now, it's not quite scoring enough goals. PJ's trying to change that, potentially going back to his more aggressive roots and taking a touch, outpacing everybody from Out of Skill as Sadness touches it down as well. And that was a real glimpse into how ARaze still are well and truly the favorites in this series, just because of bursts of skill like that.
Look at this, Sadness with a wave dash challenge, wave dash ceiling challenge. I need to elaborate there, because I don't think I've done it justice. It's really something to watch these early challenges coming in. The playstyle is very clear, but now here's a shot.
No!
Just, I think, defended somewhat by PJ. He either got a touch there or locked up the attacker into an angle that they didn't really want to be in. Infield passes for both teams, almost connecting. PJ is a bit stationary as he waited for that one, and unable to generate any momentum forward.
The game of team plays is this one. Infield passes seem key in breaking through these defenses. That one's going to be a little bit slow, is it? No, somehow still, Sadness does get a touch. I think he was expecting one of his opponents to do something with that ball, so by the time it actually fell to him, he was not in the best position for it. But he's going to come forward again. Sadness trying to clear that one, get the best 50-50 possible, but it's only as far again as Davitrox. Here's Sadness into the corner. Just can't escape. But Out of Skill put on the pincers. ARaze are really finding it difficult to break free, but this could be the moment. The demo opens it up completely. Davinzano's getting back, and he does manage to retreat in time. It's so dangerous because they're committing 3 men forward at a time Out of Skill.
Oh, PJ's causing problems everywhere he goes. The instinct, the killer instinct, I should say, of this guy is just something else. I mean, the timing on that demo that he just got, dropping it in from an impossible angle. Sadness is a free shot, doesn't hit it all that well. Oh, it's ARaze, they're just swarming them. They're queuing up, they all want a chance at this. They're almost racing each other for the ball, and PJ scores. I think Sadness got a piece of the goalkeeper after centering this. What pressure from ARaze after quite an even game.
Yeah, there was the bump there from Sadness on Davintano. It was all important, allowing PJ in, opening up the gate for him to walk through. With only 61 seconds left, we do have ARaze taking that lead. But I'd still maintain that Outlook's have been the better team in this third game. So let's see how much it shakes. And there's a chance here for a shot from Davintano, but PJ again closes it. And he's playing more like his game one self in this one.
I would agree with you. I think for the first 3 minutes, it was definitely out of skill who were posturing more aggressively. And, you know, it was absolutely time to start talking about this series as a 50-50 matchup. But then all of a sudden, we saw that flurry from ARaze, and it was led by a demo by PJ, like everything seems to be. He just ran down the field, demoed the third man, and from that moment, out of skill, couldn't get out of defense. So, you know, that ability to just fully commit, not make any mistakes, and get the goal, that's the difference between these two teams right now.
Now we see the game management from ARaze as they're just not allowing this ball to come back into their half. But this could be a chance for it. Davintano finds Lost. Over the top he goes. It's falling off the crossbar. Davatrox doesn't really have the boost to attack this one. He's got a few seconds left to try and do something with it. The 50-50 goes up in the air. PJ should be able to kill it. He doesn't quite. He fakes it. It was red. But the ball does find the floor. And the first game in this series that doesn't find an overtime is won by ARaze.
All one-goal games. This is still a far cry from the series we expected here. ARaze beating Furia before this on the day, and you know, Out of Skill already losing to Noble really made us think that this would be a one-sided matchup. But Out of Skill have performed brilliantly, and like you said, they had the edge in this matchup. You know, there weren't all that many clear-cut chances, but that's, you know, mostly because they weren't committing everybody to the attack. They were quite happy just keeping the midfield control. But ARaze, man, once they got going, that flurry was something. They had the demos, they had the passes, they had the shots, just coming in quick succession. And what a great assist by Sadness. Not only thinking to center the ball, but also to land on top of the only player who can stop PJ's goal. So yeah, perfect assist from him, really clutching the game for his team.
Yeah, these players always thinking one step ahead with the touches that they're taking, and it's leading to such a fast game of Rocket League. So exciting and so intriguing as well. 2-1 now to ARaze, and I think that going into this series, if we'd have told you that it would be 2-1 to ARaze by game 4, everybody would be thinking ARaze will see it away. But from what we're seeing on the pitch right now, there are no guarantees that that's what's going to happen on Utopia.
Yeah, I can see a game 5, definitely. Like Luke again, having to buy so much time, and look at what he does there. Doesn't rush the clear, doesn't hit the ball away from himself. He keeps control, and that's just buying time for his teammates to reposition. This is not, you know, a player who's only defending. He's got the transitional ability as well, but he's always there. He's always, you know, prioritizing safety first, and I think you need that when you've got a wild card like PJ in the team.
Well, you say that, but it was PJ that had just got a demo and then did his best to take a really controlled touch of his own backboard, just floating down with the ball, and it was so close to backfiring. The resultant 50-50 was trickling towards the ARaze net, and maybe it was Luke, I'm not sure who it was, but maybe it was him who sniffed out that danger. There's more here. Davintano towards the backboard. It's PJ again, a little bit dodgy off the backboard. Davatrox saw it coming, and Out of Skill had the lead again.
That's a fantastic pass by Davintano. The extra touch at the end there just took it away from PJ, who probably should have still made contact on this. I think, again, just not arriving at the right time. He didn't have the momentum to easily clear this. Went for a very precise hit and ended up missing entirely. So another lead for Out of Skill. And yeah, gotta say again, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a game 5 here, even though the difference has been, well, I think Luke's one of the differences for me. His composure and defense has been spectacular. Yeah, PJ as well. So unpredictable. You know, these guys can definitely get goals out of anywhere. There should be a goal. Oh my goodness. Sano nearly had that. What a recovery attempt. But you have to say they've got to make contact there. That is an easy one. And they've just missed it.
think he backflipped in the air, Davinzano, just to try and make sure that he didn't travel too far across to the other side of the goal. And it almost worked, but it did not in the end. And the goal was there for PJ, the equalizer for ARaze. Let's see how much they can build on that. I have to get some pressure going forward. It's been a little bit all out of skill so far in this one, and here it comes again. 2 despairing dives from ARaze. PJ managed to get it, but we were so close to out of skill taking the lead as soon as they'd lost it.
Yeah, it was that pre-jump save from PJ. And look at that interception now from Davinzano. They're all over the infield passes, which have been numerous in this match. I really don't want to see any infield passes to third man in any of these plays, because if you've got PJ making a demo and a goalkeeper, you know, the other two, if we look in Sadness going for an infield pass play, that's just too risky for me. You know, he's not coming back. He's staying up. He's not rotated. You can't, you know, send the house every time.
It's the ARaze defense which is scaring me a little bit right now. I feel like they're trying to take clever touches in one too many awkward places. That was an incredibly awkward read there from PJ, who did his best to just knock that one downwards, but couldn't quite get there. That's a good demo from Sadness, opening things up. Davinzano's going to try and slow this one down as much as he possibly can. PJ beats him to it. This one could be going in. It's just above the backboard. And saved again by Davitrox. So ARaze well and truly on top as we head into halftime of this game. Is anybody flying in there? No, they're not.
Whoa.
Davitrox can take it away.
Yeah, how has he got the presence of mind to dribble this out of defense? I don't know. That seemed like a pretty scary situation. Brilliant awareness. You know, he must have had a look around there to make sure that nobody was coming at him. Great redirect. PJ's hit the post there. And most of the goal was covered. Foot reset, rebound attempted by Luke, but look at the respect. Davitrox blocking the top corner wall. He knows what Luke is capable of.
Oh my goodness, PJ, that was scary. Davitrox is going to try and make it more so. There's an infield pass. It's saved by Luke. Lost turn now. He's always got so much control when he gets the ball. What can he do in this occasion? To the backboard he goes. PJ flying in yet again. Not afraid at all of being the reason for a double commit is PJ. And to be fair to him, it's worked out defensively for ARaze many times in this one. And I was going to say, up until that moment, Out of Skill seemed to be sitting back just a little bit more and letting their opponents have a bit more territory and possession, believing that when they do get a chance, they'll take it. This is that chance. Luke saves it. PJ helps it along. Lost. Does he shoot or pass? He gets a flip reset instead. Then a wave dash. Wants to get that touch. But he can't quite get there. Holding out for ARaze.
Yeah, that was, you know, prioritizing the boost steal there from Lost while also keeping the threat alive. So mind games everywhere.
Yeah. As
they realized the static defense had been forced by the boost starves that had been coming in previously. My goodness, speak about fearless play. I don't think PJ knows what fear means. You know, probably tarantulas are afraid of this guy. He just goes for absolutely everything. He's got some imagination with these plays and making it work. There's a big dunk. Sadness with the reset rebound. Oh, he doesn't half it that one. What
that is
a
a
shot
way.
by Sadness.
That is a way to win any series, in any region, in any situation. An absolutely pitch perfect backboard flip reset there from Sadness. His job has been to facilitate PJ's chasing and Luke's defensiveness. And when he was called upon, when it really mattered, he answered that question.
That could easily be the goal of the tournament right there. Perfectly placed it. I mean, from that angle, it's difficult to hit the target without bouncing it in off the ground, but he just sent that one straight in. At 0-second goal, it still would have gone in. It was so well done, but now here comes the rebound. Oh, it's Davinzano at the back post, and it's all twos on the scoreboard.
I thought it was over. It is. Plenty of twos there. What a touch, though, from Lost. Just reading that Sadness couldn't quite get it. The ball was peeling away from him. The comms perfect yet again for Out of Skill. In comes Davinzano. And we do have still a series on our hands. I really thought that this one would be fading away. But now Out of Skill can smell blood in the water. Davitrox is coming forward. Up against PJ. It's going to fall to Lost. His touch for once lets him down a little bit. And this is tricky here for Davinzano. He's got to follow this one up. Only got 10 boosts left as well, so a few seconds left. It looks like it's going to be ARaze that have that final chance. Will they take it? Probably not. This one is going to be yet another overtime.
Yeah, of course the final play had to be a PJ run-ahead demo. Why not? You know, it's working enough, and it's causing problems every time. Yeah, you have to just assume if you can't see PJ in front of you, he's probably trying to demo you, but that's just something you have to worry about. An extra thing to consider when you match up against ARaze.
Here comes Sadness, flicking that one over the top. Davanzano from the side does get the read, has lost in front of him, trying to do the PJ roll, and actually gets a really good chunk out of Luke. So what can Davanzano do with it as the pathway has been cleared by his teammate? And it's PJ that's chasing this one. Lost up for a 1v1 battle. These two, when they're against each other, there are so many different thoughts going on. Far be it from just from the mechanics. It's a proper battle of wits between these players, and Lost fakes out his opponent on that occasion. And Sadness dribbles it away. So close.
Yeah, great field awareness there. Sadness just noticed it wasn't on target, so he did not need to make contact there. Just let the ball do the work for him, and it bounces to safety. That's a bit of an awkward one. Sadness up quickly for it. That was a necessary fast aerial, because every one of these lob passes are being followed up by out of skill.
Sadness towards the back wall, and Luke and Sadness are beaten there by Lost again. He's still so important for his team. Shamako said before this series started that Lost was the key player for out of skill, and so it's proven to be. But Sadness isn't doing too bad in this game for ARaze. PJ was coming in and couldn't quite get the connection that he needed, and now finally out of skill can venture to the other half of the pitch.
Oh my, that's a pinch and
That's
a half. But Davitrox has kept his eye on it, and also kept his eye on PJ, which is equally important. Must be so fun to play with Luke. I mean, look at the freedom that PJ has in this lineup, and it's all because of this guy just letting him break every rotation, letting him cut in front of him anytime he wants. And you know, the amount of pressure that PJ is able to play, and the style of play that he's able to use is really because of the facilitation his teammates are giving him.
And Sadness is getting a lot more involved in this game in general as well as the absolute worldie that he scored to give ARaze the lead. He's getting so much time on the ball, so many close touches for himself, really trying to dribble it forward towards the out-of-skill half. And now he's got some defending to do. Davanzano and Davitrox combining the center, but it's PJ. The defenders didn't even need to worry. PJ had it covered at the first possible opportunity. Sadness can finish it here, but Davitrox saves. It's almost dunked. PJ comes in. Can he win it? Doesn't have a flip reset. Luke shoots, and it's saved by Lost.
Yeah, he tried to go low there. He's wanted to catch the whole team pre-jumping again, but they had someone on the ground. Davitrox putting in work in defense, putting in work on the goal line here. Several good saves. And not just saving the ball, but clearing it at the same time, forcing ARaze to really struggle to recycle the ball quickly and get shots off in quick succession, like we saw them do in Game 3.
And desperately scrabbling forward to get boost in the midfield, though, are out of skill. It's really running low for them, or at least it was in that defense. PJ's just been nudged off the ball by Davitrox. And here comes Lost. He might have a pass into the center if he can get there. The ball's rolling. Does Lost go for it himself? He actually takes out PJ. And Davanzano can't quite get in there in time.
A great touch by Sadness. It's awkward for Lost, but he has guided it into the corner. And PJ's actually missed the boost steal there. He tried to grab the boost and then challenge the ball. He actually missed both by, you know, being a bit greedy there. He could have picked either one of them. But you've got to go for the big win, of course, if you're playing PJ style.
That was a fake, I think, maybe. Luke wasn't quite sure what that was either, but it might work out really well here for out of skill. They shoot, it's over, they shoot again, they get it in. One of the best goal explosions in the game. The waving flag signifies the end of this fourth game.
Lost, wow, what a touch. What a brilliant first touch, passes it to himself off that back wall at close range. That's fantastic, because it must have been tempting to just shoot that one first time, but with two goalies in front of you, safer option to go for the bar, and he's picked that out in the blink of an eye. So Game 5 is where we're headed. ARaze, heavy favors going into this, but after 4 games in a row where they've been inseparable, every game's been 1 goal difference. So, you know, brilliant play by out of skill. They've really stepped up here and proven that this group is not just a 3-horse race.
Yeah, I think that's going to continue going on to Champions Field as well. Out of skill show no signs of letting this one go. I don't get the sense that any second ARaze are going to travel into the next gear, because they're moving at full pace. They're scoring these wonder goals that you see here from Sadness. But out of skill are just constantly finding ways to keep pushing them back as much as they can for as long as they can. Half the time out of skill defend, they've got absolutely no boost as well. So good at staying composed with nothing in the tank. And it's making it so difficult for ARaze to break through. Which way do you see this one going, Johnny?
Oh no, you put me on the spot here. I'm gonna have to.
Johnny,
I've got to give it to ARaze. I've got to give it to ARaze. You've got to go with the favorites here. You know, the underdogs have proven to be a worthy competitor in this matchup, but ARaze are the team to beat right now, or at least one of them in South America. So they've got to be proving it in Game 5s just like this one, when those underdog teams, those mechanical teams who have the potential to play at this level, are stepping up and indeed playing at this level. I mean, we heard it on the desk. These guys have been pushing themselves to the limit and struggling to keep up. Not today. Today they've been all over them. That might just be it. PJ opens the scoring, and it's just a quick shot that a third man wasn't ready for.
Yeah, an absolute freebie there. It was Lost that was underneath it. Davinzano beat into the ball, and Lost couldn't quite get back there in time. Once again, PJ being the differentiating factor between these two teams by just nipping in there as quickly as he possibly can do. And it gives ARaze a very cheap 1-goal lead. Now, to me, they have to keep on pushing on, try and turn this 1-goal lead into 2 or 3 as fast as they possibly can do. And it seems from the attack that they have and the amount of people they have in the out-of-skill half, that's exactly what they're going to attempt. It could happen right here. It's at the post from Luke. PJ onto the backboard. Doesn't have the boost for it. And out of skill get away with it, but they're so close to going 2 down.
Usually for any other team, probably in the world, you'd think there would be a decision here. Okay, do we calm down? We've got the 1-goal lead, but with PJ on the team, you already know that's not even an option. That's not something that is part of their flow chart. That's not the strategy that they have. They're just going to keep on doing what they do best, and that's putting pressure on their opponents. Sano's going to try and fire some back at them. Sadness covers the right half of the goal. Luke had the left, and that's good positioning by the backup to PJ here. PJ really is just rampaging once again.
I was laughing there because Davinzano had a really clean chance for a pass out wide. He could go for a double tap and sort of smush it into the center, or he could just put it as an infield pass. And that option was just taken away from him by right on the side of his camera. PJ just took out his teammate. And suddenly Davinzano was like, oh, I can't really do much of this then. So he just lobbed it to the backboard. Yeah, he just lobbed it to the backboard and nothing happened because PJ just took out his mate.
Davitrog's getting some of his frustration there, relieved as he demos PJ, gives him a taste of his own medicine. As it become to that goal, you know, we've all been there. You know, you're just getting chain demoed by someone in a game and you think, right, we're not going to try and score anymore. We're going to just hunt that guy. Oh, look at that pass from PJ. Looks on it.
Oh!
Sadness is a free shot. Davitrog's recovers well, though. That is great defense. And it had to be, because this is already a game that ARaze are leading. Luke staying goal side. Look at the defense from Luke. Every single time that he has to just hover behind the ball, it's exactly what he does. He's not giving them an open door.
Scariest thing to do in Rocket League, I swear. Keeping your composure when you're running out of boost and you're trying to judge the trajectories of will I hover, as you say, Johnny, as long as I need to do. But Luke seems to get it right time and time again.
Yeah.
A skill, though, are coming forward time and time again. Here's Davinzano. Sadness has been taken out of the game. Luke has been bypassed, but then Davitrog's just a little bit too far back on that occasion. And his 50-50 just falls to Sadness, who flicks it over the top. And he can take this one away. So out of skill close yet again, but ARaze holding firm with this 1-goal lead.
Yeah, fantastic switch up there from ARaze. They realized that their clears were going nowhere. They don't have the boost. They didn't have the momentum to really get rid of the ball, so they've just kept it. They just went for the dribble out of defense there. Sadness playing it past the entire team. Now PJ with a back pass. This is brilliant from them. They're taking away the opportunities, and more importantly, they're taking away the time that out of skill are so desperately in need of to get this comeback rolling. Still all about that corner play. They're just clearing to the side, and they're not too bothered about this pressure. Out of skill have had them in this position for a while. Oh, they might be bothered now, though. That's not a good clear. Lost has to goal, steal, secure, whatever you want to call it. But he's been the goal scorer all day. Once again, he applies the finishing touch.
It was one double touch too many. Okay, it was a steal. It was a steal, but it was an absolutely gorgeous one. So I think we can all forgive Lost for that. And yet again, I mean, out of skill equalize again. I keep thinking that's going to be it, and they keep finding a way, Johnny.
I mean, fair enough from Lost's perspective. There might be a goalkeeper there. He doesn't know for sure. So he is making a smart touch from his eyes in that play, but we can see it's open. So my goodness, has he taken a big risk to just go for a off the inside of the post pre-flip redirect? That is crazy.
I think we've all gone for that touch in ranked and been shouted at very meanly by our teammates.
Saved it, yep.
But when you're lost, you get away with it because you're good enough to do it. And now it's seeming good enough to go on and win this one. Upset of the day so far. Oh no! PJ with the unbelievable fake. Oh, we got a touch.
He got it.
I thought it was a fake.
No, he got the slightest touch ever. In fact, he might have even slowed that down. That is brilliant by PJ. You know, the fact that he's got a glancing blow on that ball has probably lowered the trajectory and just increased the chances it's going to go underneath that last defender. Fantastic stuff by PJ. He knows that a miss is actually fine there. A miss or a glancing blow, both great options. Anything but a hard hit, so he's absolutely nailed that. Put his team in front with very little time left.
Well, there is 30 seconds left. But Outschool came back with this much time left in the last game, so let's see if they can do it again. They need to get themselves on the ball first. Here it comes, Davanzano. ARaze going to head back, try and defend as much as they possibly can yet again. Can they hold? This is the real chance. PJ's up is going to be bumped out the way if he doesn't get this ball in time. And somehow Davanzano continues, gets a touch. PJ had recovered though and clears it long with only 10 seconds left. Is there time for one more out of skill chance? Is Davitrox up against Luke, who just sends him sideways and keeps the ball on the floor. This one is going to touch. The favorites do end up winning out, but my goodness, what a performance that was from Out of Skill.
Yeah, Out of Skill have done a good job here. They've got a couple of games in a matchup where they were heavy underdogs, so they can be happy with that performance. I know they won't be, because when you go that close to winning and then you end up taking 3 losses all by 1 goal, that's got to hurt. But they have done what they were supposed to do here. Or yeah, I think they've gone above and beyond, really. They can be very happy with this. But man, ARaze, you can see why this team is so successful. They've got Luke, who is such a solid defender. He is just giving so much freedom and so many opportunities for PJ to just run riot. And every team needs a PJ. You think of all the best teams in the world. BDS have got Mark, NRG have got Justin. Every top team, Endpoint have got Virtual. So, you know, Astral for Solar. You can think about any top team in the world. They've all got that guy who is just a troublemaker and hard to deal with. That's what PJ does. But if you want to really get the most out of them, you also need a guy who's going to let them turn, let them break rotation, let them cut in front of you for absolutely everything. So I think got to give credit to Luke and indeed Sadness as well. Huge play, goal of the game, probably even goal of the tournament. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think we'll see that one tomorrow on the best of plays of the day, and I look forward to seeing it again. But that does mean that Group B is already locked in. PDV are out after losing 3-0 to Noble. Out of Skill do survive to live to fight another day. So happiness all round from all of these teams, and we'll be back in a few minutes for some more Rocket League.